Hi. Okay, today we're going to be making clay. Now, moms, dads, clay is messy. I want you mostly to remember how phenomenal it is for a child's growth and development. If you Google it, you can find so many articles on how healing and educationally beneficial working with clay is. So yes, it's going to be very, very messy. Make sure your kids aren't wearing their cutest clothes, and then just sit down and enjoy the ride. So everyone has one of these pieces of wax paper in their kit, and this is specifically for the clay because clay is really sticky and takes hot water and rags to clean up after you've played with it if you don't have a mat like this. So here's your mat. Kids, you want to have a little cup of water to play with your clay. And then you've got your ball of clay that you can take out of your bag. And then I also have a paintbrush here, but you can have a pencil, a pen. The really fun thing about clay is you can use anything that you can find in your kitchen on the clay to make cool patterns and designs. So I chose a paintbrush just for fun to show you what you could do, but you can choose anything you want. So clay starts out very wet. When you take it out of the bag, it's kind of squishy like Play-Doh. But one thing someone will notice when they're working with clay, well, a couple of things, is first it gets on my hands. And as it dries, it gets flaky. And it kind of is an odd feeling on your fingers. It makes your fingers dry. And when you rub them together, they feel very different than they normally do. So that's one thing to notice. When you use soap and warm water, washes off easily. It will get on the bathroom faucet. You'll have to rinse it off. That's what we do at school. But so here I've got my piece of clay here, and I can make anything I want out of this. I think I'm going to make a bird's nest because every time I hear those little birds chirping, nothing makes me happier right now. I just hear those birds chirping when I wake up in the morning and I think it's spring. Spring is here. The birds are chirping. It's a happy day. Have you guys heard the birds chirping? Some of them are so loud right now. Even the other day when it snowed, the birds were chirping, and I thought, that's how you know it's spring, not the start of winter, because it's quiet when it snows in the winter. The birds have all left. But now they're all back, and we're so excited to hear them out our windows in the morning and when we play outside. Okay, so I just used my hands in the clay to make this cool little bird's nest. Something else that I love about clay is that when you wet it with water, it kind of changes how it works a little bit. I'm going to dip my finger in some water, and I'm going to wet my clay a little bit. And ooh, it's like a little bit slimy. And I'm going to try and roll my egg. I'm going to put an egg in my bird's nest. So I have one egg. I'm going to roll it between my hands to make eggs. Then I have 2 eggs in my bird's nest. What kind of bird's nest is this? Maybe a little robin's. Because I've heard the robins have very blue eggs, I think. Haven't double checked, but I think robins have very blue eggs. So my clay is kind of a brownish, tannish white color. I don't know, it's a weird color, isn't it? It's not quite white, it's not quite brown, it's not quite gray. I think it's tan. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs in my nest. And I'm gonna make just as many eggs as I want. Maybe I'll make 6. Okay, now I wanna make some designs in some of my eggs. So I'm gonna dip my paintbrush in water, and I'm gonna poke little holes in my clay. Look at those designs I'm making. Isn't that cool? You can even dip the brush part of your paintbrush in the clay, and then you can just like paint it. It's so interesting to watch how it changes with water. It just becomes smooth, soft. It becomes kind of soft and wet. I can even like push it and squish it on my thumb and make a little thumb hat. So these are the maybe I'll make a tiny bird's nest out of the one I made a thumb hat out of. And then this little nest will have teeny tiny little eggs, because some birds are teeny tiny, like hummingbirds. They're tiny, and I bet their eggs are really little too. I saw a hummingbird in my garden last summer, and its wings just went flap, 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 so fast you couldn't even see them beat. I hope I see hummingbirds soon. So this is what we do with our clay, and when we're all done, we're gonna wash our hands with warm soap and water, and you can put your clay in a Ziploc bag and it'll last for quite a long time. And then if it starts to get a little hard, just add a little bit more water to your bag. And I want you guys to go figure out all the things you can use in your kitchen. It would be fun to cut the clay with a knife. That would be fun. Not a sharp knife, obviously. I'm talking about like a butter knife or something. You'll have to ask your mom. It might be fun to use a fork to make designs in your clay. So parents, I'm sorry that it's messy. I know it's messy, but it is a wonderful educational experience for children. Thank you.